It's Slate Night, the Film Fan Podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Corey and Mason.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Slate Night, the podcast made by film fans for film fans. As always, I am one of your hosts, Mason Schmidt, here with my best bud, Corey Knudsen.
Ew.
Let's talk movies, new releases, old film news, and physical media releases. Let's get into it. Corey, it's been a while, so how have you been, and what are we going to be drinking tonight?
Dude, it's been over a week. Maybe one of the longer gaps between recording, I think.
It feels especially long. Like, every time when I get here, I'm like, fuck, when was the last time I was over, setting up shit, which thankfully you set up everything before I got here, because this is a late night recording for us on a Monday, which also you're probably going to have to expect both this episode and next week's episode going up a little bit late, just because of the holidays and when we're seeing Avatar and all this shit, so it's going to be a bit of a wonky release schedule. Also, there's a trailer for SpongeBob on the TV because we just finished watching football, so also our ADHD asses are just going to be kind of, whenever we're not talking, usually peering over there, or when you are talking. But
more on SpongeBob later for sure. We'll get into that. No, we got classic Bud Lights. I don't know, they're great. We've been seeing the Shane Gillis commercials a lot.
Yeah, he's done a lot for that label.
Yeah, the rebound for those has been really good. So, good little beer. It's been fucking busy. I just got back from up north, little family Christmas. Car troubles, I was telling you all about that.
Yeah.
Didn't think I was going to be back tonight. Ended up making it back tonight. Almost got pulled over on my way back. Dude that I passed got pulled over. That was cool. He wasn't doing anything wrong to my knowledge.
You passed someone going faster.
I was going 15 over, and then dude maybe he had a headlight out or something, but dude I passed got pulled over by a state patrol trooper, so that was cool. Made it here quicker so we can talk to you guys about shit. I 2 weeks in a row I haven't watched a lot of shit, but it's just, like I said, it's been busy.
Yeah.
These next couple weeks I think it'll normal out a bit.
Yeah.
We have a few bigger things coming out, but we'll get into some stuff. Not a ton of big things this week. We'll probably rip through some of these a little bit quicker.
Yeah. To start, we'll do The Secret Agent. That is one of the films I feel like come Oscar season and award season, I've been hearing a lot of buzz about. This is directed by Kleber Mendonça Filho. This is the film starring Wagner Moura. It's the film that usually has been getting a lot of accolades in terms of best directing and also best lead actor with Wagner Moura's performance, or Wagner Moura. I've seen it pronounced a couple of different ways. But this film is set in 1977 in Brazil, which it completely looks like a film shot in 1977, and it feels like I am seeing real imagery from 1977. But a technology expert flees from a mysterious past and returns to his hometown of Recife in search of peace. He soon realizes that the city is far from being the refuge that he is seeking. This is a film that I was excited to go see. I knew that it's going to be in two different languages. It's mostly in Portuguese and a little bit of German, which is kind of fun. Just because anything that's in German, I'm like, I know some of these words.
A few words.
Yeah, some of them pop up. I'm like, oh, yes.
We specifically remember some songs, poems we had to recite in German.
Yeah. So whenever I hear some German film, I'm like, ow, here we go.
Got one word.
I got one of them. Yep. One word of fucking 8 pieces of dialogue. Sick. But I'm not going to bury the lead. I didn't love this movie outright. It is definitely falls into that conversation of appreciate it or admire it more than actually really liking it. It is a grand, slow burn thriller. It's 2 hours and 2 hours 40 minutes long. It's very long, and we're following this one man who is trying to hide out in Brazil during the 70s from this military dictatorship and trying to get away from his past a little bit for things that aren't like outright bad things he did. He just stood up to the wrong person at the wrong time, and now because of that he needs to hide away because otherwise he'll probably get shot. But it is a very sharply directed and meticulously made film. Like I said, it looks like the 70s. It feels like the 70s. There's weird edits and like transitions that I was like, wow, we just got a fucking wipe in this movie? All right, now some Star Wars wipes, like some Star Wars transitions. This is great. Wagner Moura, everything that I've heard about him in terms of his performance regarding this film, he carries this movie. He's fantastic. He really conveys the fear, the urgency, the paranoia of that time, where he, as well as a kind of this community of other refugees kind of hiding away from their own backstory, their own past, and trying to hide away at this same spot. I think he handles and anchors this movie so well. But the biggest issue I have with this movie is how long it is. Yes, it's a slow burn, and some of those aspects really work, but I struggled to believe that this film really warranted this runtime. But that being said, I don't know what I would cut out, because even movies or even scenes within this movie that aren't like that pivotal to the plot, I don't know if I'd get rid of, because it's great at just kind of building out the world and this kind of weird sense of humor that this movie has. One thing that I wanted to say, this is something rant-worthy for me, where it's not necessarily only this movie, but many movies that I see are really guilty of this, especially like big awards contender films, are breaking up films into chapters. That's like going into a movie that is already long, and I see a chapter 1 title card. I'm like, fuck, this movie's gonna move so damn slow, because chapter 1 comes, it's like 20 minutes, and I'm like, oh, chapter 2 title card. Great. Okay, we'll probably get like 5 chapters, and I'll mentally, even though I'm not trying or setting out to kind of log how much I have left of this movie, I'm gonna kind of keep time in my head. You naturally do it with chapters. No, first chapter is like 20 minutes. Chapter 2 is like an hour and 20, and I'm like, what is the consistency
of this? That there's chapters at that
yeah,
point.
and then chapter 3 title card comes up. I'm like, oh my fuck, like, oh my god. So I'm just exhausted by this kind of storytelling technique, structure in films. Stop breaking up into chapters. Just show me the story. This is a movie, not a fucking book. It inadvertently makes me think too much about the runtime of the movie, when I want the movie to just work on me and to feel like a movie and to really just immerse me in it. That being said, that rant kind of it bothers me in more movies than just this. There are some really poignant moments towards the end where you get Wagner Moura playing his son in a somewhat flash forward. There are some lines and exchanges between two characters, one being Wagner Moura, that really resonated with me and really worked with me. I just don't know if those like really good poignant moments towards the back half really, again, justify how long this movie is. So I get why it's getting the accolades. I think it is a well-made movie. It's too long for me. I don't think there's enough story to support the runtime. I had a good time watching it. I was never really bored. Even when things weren't like necessarily like clicking along, I wasn't bored. But I don't know. It like, I'm like, yes, visually, stylistically, this works. Just, I didn't love it. But there are really great highlights in this movie, so I'd recommend going to see it. It is a long watch, though, so just prepare yourself mentally before you get into it.
Mm-hmm. This is what I'm catching up on this week, for sure. Yeah, it's kind of creeping into like the bubble Best Picture contenders and international feature, for sure.
Yeah, and I don't think I'd have an issue if it got either of those nominations.
Yeah, Wagner Moura, excited to see him. I really like him in Civil War from last year. He's really good in that, so... Yeah, I'm pumped to see that one, and again, I don't really know much, kind of like you going into it. I don't, like, even after you talking about it, I'm still, like, I don't have a full grasp of all what it is.
There's a lot of characters, and I will say, like, not only is Wagner Moura's performance fantastic, every performance in this movie is fantastic. I don't know the actress's name, but the main renter of this, or main rentee of this community, of this, like, apartment building, where all these refugees have kind of gathered. This old woman is the best part of this movie, aside from Wagner Moura. She is sensational. She feels like a real person, and I was like, I just want to give this woman a hug. She's fantastic. So I should probably look up her name so I can actually give her flowers. But watching the movie, when she gets introduced, she's just walking around, just chain smoking. I'm like, you're fantastic. I love you.
Hell yeah. No, I'm excited to watch this one for sure. The only movie I saw in theaters this week was Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Which you talked about last week. I was too busy this week drinking beers with my brothers and watching Phillip Rivers come back and play at 44 years old.
My favorite quarterback.
It was wild. It was a special moment.
Oh yeah, that's fucking awesome. All my brothers, all my family members texted me. They're like, "Did you hear?" And I'm like, "I know he's back."
Yeah.
Long live the king.
And it was a fun, entertaining game. There was truly no other way for it to end than a Phillip Rivers pick.
That rings true through all of my childhood of watching him on like the late night games against the Chiefs, where I'm like, oh, this is a close game. Oh, late game pick. All right, game's over. Game sealed. Chiefs won.
It was perfect. Yeah. It was a beautiful experience to watch. So yeah, I just saw the one movie, Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I rewatched the first one last week. Again, I think it's fine. It's a decent little movie. The second one, I don't hate it as much as you do, but this is not a good movie at all. Like, it is definitely in my bottom 5, 6 of the year. It takes place like 1 year after the first movie, and I guess we're going to a different location of the original Freddy Fazbear bullshit, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. But then the little girl, Abby, she goes back and she has a connection with these fucking big animal bear things. And Josh Hutcherson continues to just not really have a character, especially in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
He has nothing to do, and he's so uninterested.
Yep.
And, like, it's not even Josh Hutcherson's fault. He's just, like, probably getting a paycheck. Fine, I get it.
Script isn't doing me any favors.
No, like, he has no character in this movie. Like, Abby kind of takes over a bit more on the cop. Vanessa. She, has a bigger part to play. I'm going to get into some spoilers for this movie. I do want to start out with some positives. I think that it continues to be a fine entry-level horror movie. I think kids watching these first 2 Five Nights at Freddy's, like, there's a couple of okay moments. What I'll say in the second one is the marionette. The marionette is actually kind of cool. And I think there is some creepy imagery there where I'm like, ooh, that if I was a kid and saw that freaked me out a little bit.
In a better movie, this could be good.
Yeah, so I think like it's little moments like that and like a couple from the first movie where I'm like, okay, there's something here. Yeah. And there's like the idea. I think the lore of it is kind of interesting still, but it's just not executed well. But the marionette is pretty cool of like, it takes over somebody like McKenna Grace's character. It takes over and like how it blends with their look. I thought that was neat. That's all I have for positives. This just such a poorly written movie. Shit just happens and it doesn't make sense. The characters are just bland and uninteresting, and everyone's in a different movie. Like Wayne Knight sort of feels like he knows what movie he's in, and he's so over the top of this teacher that's just like beating down a kid and being like, your science fair project sucks.
Him and the guy that plays Michael, like Vanessa's brother, I'm like, they understand the type of movie they're in, whereas everyone else is playing this way too straight and serious.
Yeah.
This needs to be campy, and they need to realize that this is shit.
It's a weird mix. You mentioned last week, like, Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich don't share any scenes. They're not in it enough to be really substantial. And there's so many attempts at humor. You mentioned, like, the lawyer joke, which is just weird.
I don't know where.
There is, like, jokes when they're at a restaurant and eating, like, bread and the crumbs fall on the table and the waiter keeps coming around and being like, oh, let me clear those crumbs off for you. Happens, like, 3 or 4 times. It's like, is this funny? Is this a joke? What are we doing here? Just shit happens where, like, the animatronic things can, like, get out of Freddy's, I guess.
Yeah.
If they, like, type in this code or, like, hack into the system.
They jailbreak themselves.
Essentially, yeah. But they did that in the first movie. Like, they left. A couple of them left, but they didn't.
That was never an issue.
Yeah, I'm like, were they already jailbroken before? Yeah. Like, what the fuck is this? And then there's a point where Josh Hutcherson puts on a mask of one of them, and it can like, they're scanning it, and it can recognize him. And then he takes it off, and he's trying to, like, hack into the computer. And then they keep coming towards him again at another point, and he doesn't put it on. I'm like, well, if it worked before, fucking put it on again. And he finally does it, but then one of them sees through it for some reason.
The eye patch Fox.
There's probably a reason for it. I don't fucking know. I was just like, shit is happening right now. Yeah. It's just like a string of events. It's not like a put-together story. Like, the first one at least is like, all right, this dude gets a security job. He's trying to provide for his sister. Like, there's something here. Like, it's not great, but it's fine. This one is just wild. It has a crazy reveal of Michael, this character, the 2 characters named Mike, main characters. Fuck it, okay. Michael's the brother of Vanessa, and he's trying to carry out his father's thing and tap into these animatronics, but then the old ones come in and fucking kill him. I don't know how they're the good guys now. I don't know.
I like Mike's friend, who's just there to help him paint at the beginning of the movie, and then shows up at the very end only to clothesline Michael as he's leaving the house, and that's all that character does.
All he does. Yeah.
Don't know any relation or how he knows Michael or how he knows Mike.
He was his security buddy in the first movie, so like he comes back, but again he was in like 2 scenes. Yeah. It's just a sloppy movie. It's wild. It has you mentioned the ending where it's just setting up for a sequel, which this movie did well at the box office, which like that's a positive thing, I guess. Yeah. But I guess it's I don't know. I think for people that really like the games and are really into it, it seems like they're enjoying this. Cool, that's great. Like, I'm glad that you're loving these movies. I just don't think it does enough to, like, get in other movie fans, just general movie fans, of getting you into this world. I think it begins to do that, of, like, a cool concept, a couple cool horror things, but the rest of it, the story, the characters, all of it's dog shit, doesn't work. You don't even see Megan Fox, so what the fuck is this all about? Like, just gonna voice a character, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, glad I saw it just to kind of rant about it for a little bit, and I'm sure that third one will come out in a couple of years and probably do well again for all the fans that like it.
I wonder, because, like, I haven't met, granted, I don't know a lot of people that went and saw this movie, but, like, I can't foresee a lot of people that don't play the games, because people that do play the games have commented on the review I posted saying, "Oh no, this was great for the fans." It's like, cool, happy you're happy.
Yeah.
For filmmaking purposes, or for a person that wants to go see a good movie, this ain't one of them.
No.
So for an everyday fan or an everyday film fan, if they go and see this, are they immediately wanting to go see a third movie of this franchise? Like, I'm very eager to see how that next movie, which we'll likely get, how that performs. But yeah, fuck this movie.
Yeah, no, that's not good.
I wonder if they'll try and find a way to kind of still pull Matthew Lillard back into the third one, even though his character's been dead.
There's something there. It's just get a different director, get a different writer, like, do something. You gotta switch it up somehow to, like, make a good one.
Yeah, make it a little bit. Give me something new. Give me, like, this, again, like you said, the first story, it's really basic, and that's kind of how this franchise, I feel like, is gonna sing, is just security guy at a place, shit hits the fan.
Yep.
This, when they had to come up with ideas and venture outside of the Fazbear fuck palace, doesn't work out.
The science fair to school, like, why are we here?
Although I do love Wayne Knight, just absolutely bodying that little girl. Just like, oh, your project stomps it out. Like, it's like, oh my god, no. So yeah, it's not even so bad. It's good, which sucks. So don't go see it. A movie that I went and saw this past week, which I'm sure not a lot of people saw. I did not look up the box office numbers for this movie, but it definitely didn't do well because I was the only person in this theater that saw this movie. But Silent Night, Deadly Night. It is a remake, revamp, reboot, kind of retelling of the story of Silent Night, Deadly Night from the 1980s, I believe. This one stars Rowan Campbell, who I love from Halloween Ends. Corey loves him also as Corey Cunningham in Halloween Ends, shares the same name. But this film, it's just a child witnesses his parents murdered by someone that's dressed up as Santa, and that fucks him up in the brain, so now he goes on this killing spree in his adult life. In this film, there's some good things that they do in this reimagining, and there's some things that I'm just like, how are you fucking this aspect up? In the original movie, it's more like kind of B horror film, a little bit sadistic, like he's just a kind of deranged madman, but he's a killer. This one, they do a lot to make Billy really sympathetic, where I'm like, we shouldn't be on this guy's side. Like, let him just go kill people. We know this isn't good. Like, let's just give me more of what I expect from this franchise, where it's just schlocky, hard R, B horror movie.
Hard R. Oh.
No.
Okay.
Violence. Give me some good violence. Which this film sometimes lands with the violence. There are some good kills where you see a woman driving on an ATV and her head gets cut in half at the mouth up and it just slides off like butter. I'm like, good, hilarious, fantastic. You're satisfying some aspects. But then there's some where it's like almost an action scene, and it has like, not to shit on the Hunger Games franchise, but that first Hunger Games has that like shaky cam editing style where I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but there's blood somewhere? Okay, cool, someone died. There are some choices regarding the characters where I'm like, what are we doing here? There's some sad and uninventive ways of how they handle some of the killings, and I'm like, I feel like this is the easy thing to bring home and just do some fun, imaginative, dark kills. The one aspect of this movie that I did like is that this man, Billy, in his adulthood, has this mental connection to the original man dressed as Santa that killed his parents. And he hears him in his voice, in his head, almost like in the show Dexter, which I don't know if have you ever watched Dexter?
I've not, no.
So Michael C. Hall plays Dexter, and his dad, in ghost form, speaks to him. and he sees him, and he has conversations with this man who isn't alive anymore. And they kind of do that in this film, which I'm like, I kind of like that aspect where he knows he's kind of insane, and he's talking to the reason why he's insane, and just like
he's going with it.
Yeah, and he's going with it, and it will tell him like, you need to go kill that bitch tonight. And I'm like, I respect that. I kind of like that kind of creative decision. I also there's some moments that feel out of nowhere. Like I said, they try to make Billy really sympathetic with who he's choosing to kill. There's a part where he follows this one bitchy woman that's at a son's hockey practice who's yelling in the stands like, "Get up, you pussy," and all this shit to her kid. And she's like, Charlie, the voice in Billy's head, says, "Kill this woman." And he's like, okay. Tails her, follows her to a Christmas party where it's a Nazi Christmas party. They're all Nazis randomly, which feels kind of like American Werewolf in London in the 80s, where there's a random nightmare sequence with Nazis. Cool.
You're a big Nazi guy, yeah? You said that before.
Nope, not going to say that. Nope. I do not like
someone
Nazis.
Else? I thought it was you.
You make me feel like
Who were you rooting for in the scene?
Oh my god.
Were you rooting for the Santa guy or the Nazis?
No, okay. So Nazis are in this movie. I'm not a fan of Nazis.
You should, if you're listening, you should see the hand signals he's doing right now.
If you're watching, you know I'm just like struggling and panicking. But I fucking did. At the one part in this movie that made me laugh out loud, which I felt fine about because I was the only one in the theater. They're having this party, and this bitchy white woman with blonde hair is the head of this Nazi
Fuck did you just do with your arm there? He actually did it, guys. Whoa!
I can't point off screen because it looks like I'm just... So, this woman that's the lead of the Nazis is up on stage, and she says, thank you for coming to the I'm Dreaming of a White Power Christmas. And that got the biggest laugh out of me. I was like, whoa, ridiculous. But then what unfurls and what unwinds is just this rabid, horribly cut, horribly edited action killing spree that Billy goes on with killing all these Nazis. And it's like, I get that we're making this man sympathetic because he's killing Nazis, and Nazis are horrible. We can all agree on that. Right, Corey? Nazis are bad.
Little GI robot, maybe.
Okay.
No, he's killing
I'm
Nazis.
killing Nazis!
Yeah, that's what I thought of when
okay,
you were talking about that. Yeah.
So, cool. Fine. You want to make him sympathetic and kill Nazis? Great. But you don't get to see it or enjoy a lot of it. So, I don't know. I feel like overall this entire package of this Silent Night, Deadly Night reimagining is a bit flat, a little DOA for me. I got some enjoyment out of some of the kills. Like I said, I do like Rowan Campbell, and I think he's a good kind of lead for this type of movie, but I think that they could have gone a little bit more like ballsy with it. They could have, don't try and make him sympathetic. Just make him a little deranged, make it a little sadistic, a little bit fun, campy, like have like an actual good throwback to like an 80s schlocky B horror fest. Give me something like that, and I think I would have really appreciated this. Otherwise, it was just like, I'm not going to remember this movie going into next year. Like, I wanted at least like Eli Roth's Thanksgiving out of this, and I didn't get that. So I would recommend. Have you seen any of the Silent Night, Deadly Night?
I haven't.
Movies?
I thought about watching through them this week. I didn't have the energy, so I didn't. And after I don't know, like after watching through the Toxic Avenger movies, not that these are related, but like
not as bad.
Like just I'm not huge on like B-level horror schlocky stuff. Yeah. Like those kind of put me in a sour mood, but also like the Terrifier movies I don't love. And I kind of heard that like Silent Night, Deadly Night's sort of in the same vein, not quite as far as those.
Especially like this one, especially like it has what the Terrifier movies are like harkening back to is what I would expect more with what I wanted out of this revamp. And I didn't get it. Where I'm a big fan of those Terrifier movies. They're excessive as all fuck, and I'm like, okay, I get it. Move on. Especially the second one, that's like 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Insane.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
The longest slasher movie of all time. What? I would recommend checking this out. I think it's like, it's a pretty easy watch. And it is violent, but it's still like, I think most people can watch this or like watch it like late night. There's a couple of Christmas horror movies that I keep in like regular rotation for me, like Krampus, Black Christmas, like... If you argue Gremlins being a Christmas or a horror movie, you kind of make both of those arguments. But I like the original Silent Night, Deadly Night. It's a fun schlocky one. The second one gets really nutty, and I think that that's also a good watch. This one, it's fine. I think you can get a good...
I may check it out someday. Do a watch through of all of them in the 2012 one or 2010 or some bullshit.
There's a 2012 one, which I haven't seen that one. I heard decent.
Yeah, so someday. Someday I'll watch through them.
But a movie that I'm going to just... Not going to bury the lead. The best movie I watched this week, my favorite movie of this past week was Twinless. I finally checked that out. I heard a lot of buzz earlier this year. This is directed by James Sweeney. He directed previous films. I think his first film was Straight Up, but I haven't seen that. This film is starring Dylan O'Brien, Lauren Graham, James Sweeney, and Aisling Franciosi. I do not know how at all I'm supposed to pronounce that. But a young man, Dylan O'Brien, is grieving the loss of his twin brother, and he joins a support group for twinless twins, people that have lost their twin. And I think that this film is very satisfying, it's very emotional, and it is for a film that covers what I just read in the synopsis. Kind of more of like you go into this expecting a mid-range kind of comedy, drama, almost a rom-com between these two main leads of just like their friendship that kind of prospers out of this. You wouldn't I don't always expect the best directing or the best editing. The camera work in this movie blew me away. I was so surprised. There is a split screen portion of this movie where James Sweeney and Dylan O'Brien, they go to a Halloween party, and it's split screen. We get their two different experiences throughout this holiday party. One, it's a perfect way to show the juxtaposition between these two characters and what they experience and how they kind of exert themselves in like a party setting, in a social setting. One's more introverted, one's more extroverted. But also how they line up and how they blend. I rewound it, and which I was watching part of this with my wife, and I was like, I made her sit down, and I was like, look at this, check this shit out. This is so awesome. So it floored me in the craft of it, but also the story is really emotional. It does at times follow kind of a familiar structure, similar to like what you'd get in a rom-com of like, oh, they're hitting it off, they're getting along. Surely there's a moment where something goes wrong and they have a falling out, but they'll eventually meet up at the end. And that kind of happens between these two guys that are just forming this bond, this friendship. There were some really genuinely funny moments throughout the film. This is maybe the best performance I've ever seen Dylan O'Brien give. I loved him in Love and Monsters, I think from like maybe 2020 or around that time. It was COVID era, so all of those movies just blend together. During COVID, yeah. So I'm a big Dylan O'Brien fan, and I think that this is easily his best performance. And this is easily one of my favorite on-screen friendships that I've gotten to see between James Sweeney's character and Dylan O'Brien, and just kind of how they figure out their own issues with each other, and they sometimes are at the blame of one another, being like, you can't use me to satisfy this issue that you're too afraid to deal with. And like there's some good emotional conversation happening between these two guys, and I really appreciated kind of the depths that they went. And like, we both have brothers, and I think that this film does a good job at showing how having a twin is different than having like just a brother. And he's like, Dylan O'Brien's character, he's like, I've had my best friend all my life, and I've known him, we share the same DNA, like everything to a T. We're different, but we're the same. And now he's gone. And how do I exist past that? So there's a lot of really emotionally moving moments in this movie. Like I said, it was my favorite film of the past week. In terms of movies over 2025, what I've seen, I think it was like number 14 slot. Like, I really loved this movie. It's a great time. It really surprised me too. Like, I've heard good things, but it really rocked me, and I'm really pleasantly surprised by it. So I definitely recommend checking it out. I think I had to rent it on Prime. Okay. I don't remember where I watched. I think it was Prime. But check it out. It's worth any amount of money to rent it. I'm gonna hopefully buy it if there was a Blu-ray release of this movie.
I hope this keeps up the Dylan O'Brien renaissance. We'll get him in Send Help in January, with Sam Raimi's movie. You mentioned Love and Monsters. I always really liked him in the Maze Runner movies. I thought he was pretty good in those. So yeah, I'm stoked to watch this one. I know this has kind of been in some of the like Indie Spirit Awards and some of those things. Kind of feels like it fits in perfectly there.
Yeah, no, it's great, and it's, like I said, a very well-directed film from a person that I think has only made 2 feature-length films. It's really surprising. There are 2 other films from 2025 that I'm going to kind of run through just so I can already feel the length of the shit that I'm talking about. But I watched The Baltimoreans, which I remember seeing was...
Great title.
Awesome title.
Yeah.
I think when it was in theaters, it was just The Baltimoreans, but on Amazon Prime, which I rented this also on Amazon Prime, It's The Baltimoreans, A Christmas Love Story, which this movie came out in September. Yes, it is set during the Christmas time of the year, which I was really excited to watch, kind of a new-ish Christmas movie to me. It's directed by Jay Duplass, who made the film Jeff, Who Lives at Home with Ed Helms and Jason Sudeikis. I really like that movie. It was on Netflix. That was like one of the first movies I ever watched on Netflix. Like when it was a streaming service, and I was like, oh, okay, pretty good movie. And I believe he's the brother of Mark Duplass. But this film is starring Michael Strassner, Liz Larson, and Olivia Liccardi. It's about a newly sober man on Christmas Eve who has a random thrust into his dental emergency that leads to an unexpected romance with his older dentist as they slowly explore Baltimore together. Yeah, it's a little bit of a Harold and Maude. Like I think the guy's in his like mid to late 30s and the woman's maybe early 50s. So it's not like the biggest age gap, but like it works so well. Their chemistry is so fantastic, and not only that, the look and feel of this movie, it feels like The Holdovers in like the grainy texture of the film, and it feels like an ode to just like almost like an After Hours type. Like, I love After Hours by Scorsese. I love movies where it's just a character going throughout the day, going throughout, like, a voyage of a night, or trying to figure out what they're going to do with their day. And this film is Michael Strassner trying to figure out, like, hey, I have this dental emergency. My dentist fixed it. She doesn't have anything planned for Christmas. My fiance and her family they don't give a fuck about my Christmas. They're already getting on with opening presents without me. They don't have any food waiting for me anymore. So fuck it, I'm just gonna have this day with my dentist and we'll have a decent little like fun outing in Baltimore. It works so well. It's really refreshing, and I've never seen a movie where kind of having that Harold and Maude attraction where I was like, I get it. In this movie, I'm like, yeah,
you're feeling it.
I'm like, nice. I get it. Like, all right, like this.
Okay.
The chemistry is great, but also like, yeah, that's
a little freak over there.
Okay, so you make me sound like the main guy from Tires. Like, just chill out. But the film is really warm. It has that great grainy look. It immediately feels nostalgic. And it's reminiscent of The Holdovers and kind of A Christmas Story and the look of it. And a lot of it's shot handheld, so it feels old and like homemade. But it's like a good, comforting movie. It's weird that this was released in September, but the duo here is what really kills it in this movie. It's a great movie. It's a good, heartfelt, charming Christmas movie. So if you haven't seen it or heard of it, definitely check it out. I will say, second rant for me of the day. We'll get another one later when we talk about Stranger Things. But I'm so tired of seeing people. It's become like very common in like movies of like, how do we show in this movie so efficiently that this person is at the end of the line? Well, we'll just have them walk up the steps to their attic, look up at the ceiling, think, that'll do, and then tie a noose and try and hang themselves. I feel like I'm seeing characters hang themselves so often in movies, which, like, I don't mean to fucking strike a nerve with anyone listening or watching. It's a bad thing. Killing, like, seek help if you're having thoughts like that, but I'm also not your life coach. I'm watching movies and talking about movies that I watch. I'm tired of seeing that in movies. It just, not that it's bad, it is bad, but there's other ways to show that someone is not having a good fucking run of it or a good time. I don't need to see another schlubby white dude look up at the ceiling and be like, I'm gonna dangle from that real nice. I don't need to see it anymore. Come up with something else. At this point it feels lazy. It feels so overdone. The movie starts with it, and I'm just like, it was my only negative with this otherwise great holiday film. So, granted, if you're going to watch a feel-good holiday movie, which this film was kind of marketed as, just know it's going to start with a man trying to hang himself but failing. So, ha ha ha. Fat guy miscalculated his weight and the belt snapped. Oh no. Like, it's just, I don't know. I'm so tired of seeing it.
I love you starting out being like, it's an obviously terrible thing. Call for help if you need, but also let me make fun of this.
Let me drag this a little.
I fucking love it.
It's so common that it's becoming like easy and lazy.
Sentimental Value. We had that theme a little bit. Yeah.
Oh my god, that movie fucking went on with it.
If you kill yourself, Mason will hate you.
No, you gotta stop hitting me like a villain.
That's what I got out of this.
Yeah. So, Baltimoreans is great. Maybe try similar to how, like, not similar, but like I have issues with the chapter structure in film. I don't need to see another person try and hang themselves in 2026 in a movie that I'm seeing in theaters or watching at home.
Better not be in Doomsday, dude. Holy fuck.
Yeah, fucking.
Oh, that would suck.
What's his I Love You 3000 little daughter's name?
Oh, whoa. You were going there?
I don't know.
I said Korg, the rock guy. You went to the daughter of Iron Man?
Holy fuck. Okay. Let's go down your rabbit. Let's go down. No, shut up. Let's go down your rabbit hole because the idea of Korg trying to hang himself. It's fantastic.
Sees Doom come, he's like, boys, I'm gonna
rope,
leave.
Hang from it.
Yeah.
Gonna end it all. Good luck to you, chops. Tutu.
Holding meek.
He's coming with me.
Can't believe you went to the daughter. That's crazy.
Sorry.
Wow.
I also watched
What else did you watch this week?
I watched Hedda this week, which is directed by Nia DaCosta. I heard great things about Tessa Thompson in this film. Also, Nina Haas, who I've never really been exposed to in other films aside from this. Both performances are sensational. This is maybe the best film I've seen directed by Nia DaCosta, which I don't love her revamp of Candyman. The Marvels, it's kind of underrated.
We like that movie more than most people.
Decent enough movie. It feels like a Saturday morning cartoon, so I think it works. And I'm really excited to see what DaCosta does with the upcoming Bone Temple, the 28 Years Later sequel. So this is a reimagining of Henrik Ibsen's classic play where Hedda, Tessa Thompson, finds herself torn between the lingering ache of a past love and the quiet suffocation of her present life. It's a bit pretentious, but it is just this woman at odds with everything in her life, and I love movies about characters who are smart being smart. And Hedda is very much the smartest person in every room she's in. And she's trying to figure out how she can better her positioning in every social setting. So I liked this movie for being able to watch that and see it play out. You have this kind of whole dynamic of her kind of somewhat rekindling this past love with Nina Haas, while also she's now a married woman and has a husband, and they have this nice big house, and she's trying to make sure that he gets a good gets set up well for his next potential career. Because she has to impress a lot of people at this party she's hosting, but also, her old flame is here. So there's a lot of, this film looks great. It feels expensive. It looks very lavish. It's warmly lit. Everything is very richly toned. This film looks great. It's a bit slow. It is a talking man's drama. This is a movie based on dialogue. And I liked it, and it really works for me, and I like movies like that. But if you know that there's not a single action sequence, people barely raise their voice in this movie, people get drunk, it's at a party, and, look at this house, let's go skinny dipping a little bit, and there's some people making out in the corner. There's some aspects of that, but otherwise, this is a pretty straight-laced drama, but it works well. Like I said, I like films about smart people being smart and being able to exploit kind of idiots in the room and be like, yeah, I know what you're doing. I'm in charge here. I'm in charge of this situation. Tessa Thompson, she steals most of the movie, but any scene that Nina Haas is in, Nina Haas steals every scene. I love her in this movie. I'm more excited to try and look through her filmography and watch movies that I haven't seen that she's in, because she was sensational in this movie. I heard great kind of, I feel like, brief awards buzz for this film. I don't know if that's really going to linger on into kind of the Academy Awards, but I wouldn't have an issue with Tessa Thompson or Nina Haas getting a nominee for anything. They're sensational in this film, and I think it looks great. It plays well. It's a good drama, great dialogue. Bit long, good watch though.
This was on Amazon Prime, right?
I think this one was also on Amazon Prime.
Okay, yeah. I definitely want to check this out. I know Tessa Thompson, speaking of awards talk, she got nominated for a Golden Globe, which we'll kind of touch on those nominations in a little bit here, but yeah, I think Tessa Thompson's fucking sweet. She's a cool actress, and I feel like the last big thing she was in was Valkyrie and Love and Thunder, which kind of but Ragnarok, she's great in that, and Creed, she's fucking awesome in those movies. So I'm actually excited to check this out. I think Nia DaCosta doing something that's not a big franchise thing, Candyman, I was so excited for, and then I was okay, and then the Marvels, like we said, it is a fine movie, and then she's doing 28 Years Later Bone Temple. I'm I want to see you do, I feel more stuff like this, so I'm definitely curious to check this one out more. Okay, I am trying, it's fucking mid-December, and I'm trying to get through my alphabet watch through, going through the movie of each letter through this year. It seems like I should have been done by now, but I'm not. I decided to watch a 3.5 hour movie for letter S, an epic that I bought on Black Friday last year. It is Seven Samurai, directed by Akira Kurosawa. Got the Criterion right here. It is a thick motherfucker. It's got like 3 discs in there, all the special features you could want. It's a beautiful set. And this is a beautiful movie, man. It came out in 1954, and it's just, I've always heard so much about how influential this movie is of shaping almost every other genre, every other blockbuster you've ever seen. A lot of the stuff from those came from this movie. And that's what I want to touch on first, is like just the filmmaking of it. You mentioned the swipes in like Star Wars. Mm-hmm. They do that in this movie almost every scene, like transition between scenes. So it's kind of one of the first uses of that. And you just see like some of the first uses of slow motion. Like there'll be sword fights in this movie and somebody will fall and like the sound will go out when they fall, but if they're in slow motion, it looks really cool. And it's just like Kurosawa, man. Like we talked about it with High and Low. Just the framing of his scenes is so beautiful to watch, of how just well he understands of how he wants to construct a scene. Like, we need to start here, we'll pan the camera, we'll go over here, this is going to come into frame, we're going to do this. Like, it's just, it looks so good. He has such a great handle on any movie he's making, and this movie, like, it's 3.5 hours, and I split it up into a couple different watches just because it is long, but it's really well paced. Like, it's, you get the first half, it's essentially about this village that's going to get raided by this group of bandits. So the village hires these 7 samurai to protect their village from the bandits coming in. Mm-hmm. And so you get the first like third of the movie of the bandits all, of the samurai all doing their stuff and kind of assembling the team there. The middle half of like training the village and setting up barriers and all this stuff. And then the back half, or the back third, is like really just the battle part or the invasion part, which is fucking sweet. It just gives you everything you want, and it's never boring. Like, it's my one like little flaw with the movie is you don't get to know all of the samurai that well. Yeah. There's like, I'd say 4 of the 7 you get to know well. The other 3 they're doing stuff. But the 4 that you get to know well, like Takashi Shimura is the main one, who I like. Him and Toshiro Mifune pop up in Kurosawa stuff, and they're both fucking great. But Takashi Shimura is like the leader. He's kind of the wise, the sage, samurai. But then you have Toshiro Mifune, who is just this drunk dude who's like
rabid, man.
He just doesn't have like the sense of a samurai really, but he's got the passion for it. And he has some great scenes too of like, beyond his just kind of drunk demeanor and whatever, where he's like, my family were farmers, like, we grew up with this, so, like, I want to protect these people. And so they give him some depth, aside from just being the jokey guy or whatever. So you have great stuff there, and he's, like, the only one in the village that can make the kids laugh there. Like, as they're all preparing for these bandits to come, he's, like, making them laugh and doing little shows and stuff. So just what each samurai brings to the table was really interesting of what their skill set was. There's one dude that's just a fucking badass and like goes out in the middle of the night, steals a musket, comes back, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna go to bed now, here's the musket. And they're like, fuck, dude, there's like 30 guys over there. It's like, it's so great characters throughout. Like I said, it's just really well paced. It's really entertaining for a 3.5 hour movie. One of the most beautiful black and white movies I've ever seen in my life. It was nominated for 2 Oscars for art direction, which is production design, and then costume design. And this is something I've thought about for a long time, but you've always talked about your favorite shot in a movie. And it's Ivan's childhood when they're in the woods over the little
trees,
trench or whatever. And I had never had an answer to that question of what my favorite shot in a movie is.
Okay.
I have it now, after seeing Seven Samurai, and it's at the end of this movie. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Seven Samurai. But there are 3 remaining samurais at the end of this movie. After the bandits are gone, they save the village. And they're talking, they're like, yeah, this is, a win for the village, and it's not necessarily a win for us because we lost 4 men. And it's the 3 surviving samurais at the bottom of a hill, and then they're at the bottom of the frame, and then there's 4 swords coming out of the top of their graves at the top of this hill. And it's like the last shot of the movie, I believe. And I was just like, holy fuck, like to sum up a movie in 1 frame, that's fucking beautiful. And it's just like, I don't know, I immediately saw that, I'm like, that's my favorite shot I've ever seen in a movie. It's fucking amazing, and
it's very easy to find online too. That's how you know it's good. Like, you Google it, boom, it's there.
I would love to have that like hanging up in my house. Like, that would be so cool. So This movie's fucking incredible. Like I said, it inspired so many things. The Magnificent Seven kind of being the biggest one, which is one of the first movies I remember watching with like my dad and grandpa. My grandpa's like, oh, Yul Brynner and Robert Vaughn. Like I was just like, I don't know who these people are, but this movie's awesome. And like it inspired Star Wars, and even the concept of like protecting a village from people. You see it to this day in shit like Rebel Moon or whatever. Like it's not a great example, but like the idea of that has carried on for generations. And Kurosawa, man, like I'm watching this in High and Low this year. I'm like, I need to watch more of the things I haven't seen from him because he's so good. Buy this movie. It looks fucking great. And I'm so happy I've checked it off the list now, because this is like what this alphabet walkthrough was meant to do, is like classics that I haven't seen, or Jonah Hex or something, or Red 2.
Yeah, might as well just cross off.
Mix a little, mix them in. But this one was a really fun watch. I knew I would like it, but I didn't know if it was going to be appreciate more than like. But I genuinely love Seven Samurai. I think it's such a good movie.
Yeah, there hasn't been an Akira Kurosawa movie that I've seen where it was like, or appreciate and not like. It's always, wow, I love this. This works still. I've owned the Ikiru Criterion Blu-ray for a long time, and I think in the coming weeks that's one of the ones that I'm going to sit down and watch. I'm really excited. Seven Samurai is fantastic. I know how long you fucking own this, so I'm just been waiting for you to watch it, so I'm happy that you checked it out, because it's fantastic. And I'm happy that you also now finally have an answer to this is my favorite shot in cinema, because it is a baller fucking shot.
It's great.
Yeah, Seven Samurai is fantastic. It's a classic for a reason. Everything kind of builds from Seven Samurai.
Yeah.
Like, it's a classic story. You see it in a lot of things now. It all harkens back to Seven Samurai and Kurosawa. So go check out the original, because it's the best. It's fantastic. It's one of the best movies ever made. I checked out a film that I bought on Criterion over this past month or two when they were doing the sale. I bought In a Lonely Place, which I mentioned, I believe. This is directed by Nicholas Ray, who did Rebel Without a Cause. This film was from the 50s with Humphrey Bogart. I think it was when watching Nouvelle Vague, they bring up a line that's from this movie that I was like, I heard the line and I was like, I need to see the movie now. And this movie's about Humphrey Bogart, who plays this Hollywood screenwriter who he's kind of hard-edged. Like, he could be a very violent, scary man, but like he's usually pretty coy. He's very smooth talking with everyone. Like, he's very like Humphrey Bogart in the 50s. Like, it just makes sense for him to play this role. This is a noir film, but he is a screenwriter, and he becomes a murder suspect for one of his neighbors kind of has to go to bat for him. So he's just kind of caught in this murder plot while also trying to write this script. And there's some suspicion surrounding him of like, did he do it? Is this man a suspect? Should we be worried about him? Because like, he has violent tendencies, and he can get into it with people. Like, he's known for this. But this is a film where you sit down to watch it, and it immediately feels nostalgic. It immediately feels comforting. Like, when you sit down and watch a well-made movie, and you key into it pretty early on, and you're like, this movie's good. I don't have to worry. I know that this is going to be a good trip. I'm going to have a good time, and I could do that with this film. But the line from this movie that immediately enticed it was, I was born when she kissed me, I died when she left me, and I lived for the 2 weeks while she loved me. Or it might not be that for verbatim, but that line, I heard that in Nouvelle Vague, and I was like, fuck.
That hits hard.
I need to see this movie. And the way it exists in this movie, it's just, he's like, I'm thinking about this line for part of my script, and he says it out loud, and I was like, fuck, Humphrey Bogart can read anything. This man is so cool. So, the movie itself, really great, good kind of noir, 50s kind of grungy, murder, hard-boiled noir film, and I really enjoyed it. Humphrey Bogart, honestly, anything he's in, I'm immediately interested. Check out Maltese Falcon if you haven't. That's kind of a more classic film, but like, in film classes, and like Film 100, we were talking about Film 100, but just like, that is the noir film, is Maltese Falcon. You need to check it out. You need to watch it. Humphrey Bogart. Oh my god. Humphrey Bogart in just about anything works. So I really like this movie. It holds up really well to today, and I think, like we talked about, like, we like movies that unpack and dive into filmmaking or screenwriting, and like, I like Mank. I like The Fablemans, like stuff like that, where it kind of unpacks the behind the scenes stuff that goes into making film, and you get aspects of that in this movie too that I really appreciated. So it was a great watch. I'd recommend it. Humphrey Bogart, always a win.
Yeah, can't go wrong there. I love Rebel Without a Cause.
Oh yeah,
from Nicholas Ray too. I watched that like a couple years ago, and I fucking love that movie. So yeah, I'll definitely if I do an alphabet thing next year, I don't know if I'm going to do the exact same format. I don't know. I'll switch it up, but I still want to watch classic movies next year. But yeah, so I mentioned the S that I went through. The T movie that I went through is True Grit. I had not seen this movie, obviously, but I hadn't seen the original one either. I didn't have time to watch the original. I wanted to try and get that in. I believe John Wayne won an Oscar for playing Rooster Cogburn in that movie.
I think he did.
And I know it's based on a book as well. And this 2010 version of True Grit, directed by the Coen brothers, is kind of an adaptation of the book, more so than the movie from 1969 with John Wayne. But it's just kind of been a gap in my, like at least recent movies that I hadn't seen. Mm-hmm. And I'd had this Blu-ray for a while, and I was really happy to check it out. And this is just like another example of every area of a movie just firing on all cylinders, mm-hmm. where you have the Coen brothers. I think their style and their like dialogue works really well here in this Western, where Haley Steinfeld is playing a girl that her father dies, and she enlists the help of a U.S. Marshal to track down the killer. Just a simple plot, and it's Haley Steinfeld's first role, and so just like naturally I've kind of been like, I want to obviously check that out amongst all the other actors in here. Jeff Bridges is Rooster Cogburn. I fucking love him. It's not even a complaint really, it's kind of funny at this point, but you can't understand a lot of people in this movie, which the Jeff Bridges complaint of like, hell or high water, and like a lot of things he's in you can't understand. There's also a point when Matt Damon, he plays a Texas Ranger who's also going after the killer for a different reason. He's along the way, and there's a point where he gets his tongue kind of not cut all the way off, but it's like it infects his speech so that he can't speak really well. Then Josh Brolin's in the movie, and he doesn't speak very well. I'm like, I need fucking subtitles here, and I don't like watching subtitles on English movies. I just like it distracts me for a foreign movie, obviously. But I was like, fuck, I'm missing stuff here. Like I'm missing things. But it's kind of like a little nitpick, I guess. It's just a great, simple story, a great Western, and like I said, every aspect of this movie, the acting, the directing, the cinematography by Roger Deakins looks incredible. It's just out in, I think it's Arkansas, and it just looks like they went outside and shot a movie. Yeah. It doesn't look like a film set. It's not on the fucking volume. It's not green screen. There's no big visual effects shots. It's just like, go outside and film it. And I miss how movies used to look like that, and especially the Coen brothers do a great job of that. And it just looks like the Old West. It's just like in these streams, in the woods, the winter with the snow falling down. It looks so good. Just the sound design, the costumes, all this stuff, it just comes together to make a great Western that I think is so accessible for anybody. If like, there's so many movies that I have that I'm like, I can recommend this for anybody. True Grit is one of those. It doesn't have a lot of like graphic content or anything like that. So this is a great one. It was nominated for 10 Oscars, including Best Picture. Didn't win any of them, which is unfortunate because it deserves some of those for sure. But I love this movie. I've watched some great Westerns this year between this and Tombstone and Quick and the Dead, just filling out that genre a bit more. And this was a great one if you have never seen True Grit 2010.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite ones. This is such a Corey Taylor-made movie that it's kind of astounding that you hadn't seen this before. Mm-hmm. Like Seven Samurai, I get it's like way old. Like you got to go back. And you're watching a classic, so it's like you got to get in that mindset. This one, like, it came out when we were starting to get really into movies, so this one has always been such a surprise that you hadn't seen until this point. I forget if it is Matt Damon's, like, introduction shot, but there's a moment when he lights a match and lights a cigar or a pipe, and, like, it just illuminates his face. I'm like, fuck, that is just so ingrained in my brain. This movie's fantastic. Haley Steinfeld's amazing, and I feel like her performance and the accolades that kind of, and the praise that she garnered from her performance is what got me to watch this movie when I was younger. And it's been one of my favorites ever since. Would you say that this is in your kind of top 5 Coen Brothers movies, you think? Or it's
up there for sure. Yeah.
It's kind of hard when you're weighing some of they're heavy hitters.
Yeah.
Like Big Lebowski and Fargo and No Country for Old Men.
Yeah. The only part of this movie I had seen before, it's just a weird memory of this movie, is I was in like 5th grade, and Oscar Ambres, who we went to high school with,
The fuck
we were in 5th grade in the computer lab, and it's probably like 2010, I guess, after this came out, and he was showing me a clip from this movie when Rooster Cogburn's like on trial for something, like a guy that he killed, and they're like, "How many men have you shot?" He's like, "Shot or killed."
Yeah.
And then they're like, "What direction were you moving when you were going back?" He's like, "Well, I'm normally going backwards when I'm moving back." And like just that little scene, I was like, "Oh fuck, that's a memory from 5th grade of fucking 15 years ago." So it was fun to like fill in the rest of that kind of after Oscar's like, "Dude, this movie's fucking awesome."
Yeah, there's a lot of good humor in this movie. Like when Rooster gets drunk and he's playing that game with Matt Damon about like shooting the bottle out of the air and all that shit, and he throws it so and the jacket goes over his face. Oh, hell, fuck!
Give me another one.
Yeah, he's so fantastic in this movie.
Yeah.
You do miss. This is like, I feel like this and Crazy Heart is the beginning of losing his speech. Not that he's bad at talking. It's just I can't understand him anymore because he's so grizzly and growly. But I saw this before I ever saw the remake, and I prefer this to the remake. I don't know if that's probably just because I saw this one first, or if quality-wise it is necessarily better, but the fill your hands, you son of a bitch! I remember the first time I saw this movie in theaters, and I was like, what the fuck did he just say?
What's going on?
Yeah, so I love this movie. It easily is one of the most beautiful films, I think, that has come out since we've been alive, so...
For sure.
Check it out if you haven't seen it. It's well worth your time. Honestly, it's probably going to be the most like easy to check out of any movie that we've brought up today.
Under 2 hours.
Under 2 hours. Yeah. It's brisk. It's well paced. It has good action and amazing characters. So check it out. It is one of the best films of probably the past 20 to 30 years. I did finally sit down with my wife and watch Stranger Things, the volume 1 or the first chunk of episodes that we've got for season 5. And I'm here to say that every time I watched the show through... Like, when I was watching season 4, I'm like, I don't like this show that much. Like, it's fine. And then it ends, and then I get kind of nostalgic for it. Maybe it's just all the 80s shit that they throw in. And they're like, you guys saw an Amblin movie when you were young, and now you love this shit. So it's all in here now, too. But I like this show. But I hate a lot of it, too. So, to unpack it, you brought it up maybe a couple weeks ago.
Dive into spoilers also. Yeah, it's been a few weeks.
Yeah, we'll get into spoilers, and we have... the next string of episodes coming out in 10 days on Christmas Day. So I'm really excited to see those, even though this show pisses me off a lot. And I think I like maybe 40% of the characters. But we have this new story. We're going into the Upside Down. We're going to spend more time down there. Bigger budget, longer episodes. Is the CGI great? No.
It's gotten worse.
It's gotten worse. And you brought this up too. I think when we had it more sparingly and we had the Demogorgons kind of being like more of a novelty thing. Now they're everywhere in this show, at least in this season.
Fucking shit up.
And which I appreciate. I appreciate how violent this show gets at times, and like I love that about season 4 because I feel like season 4 was the natural progression from season 1 of just how violent this otherworldly shit can be, and I liked how dark season 4 got. This, I'm like, all right, we're still getting that, especially when you get into Holly's abduction and her parents getting mutilated.
Fucking Ted, dude. Just trying to play golf outside.
In the dark outside. I'm like...
Just a disgruntled dad, like, fucking like, kids and wife. Comes back inside, he's like, what the fuck is this?
Like, oh my god. I like how violent that gets, and I appreciate that aspect of the show, but overall, I think the visual effects have definitely taken a step down. We're getting kind of oversaturated by it. Everything has like this hue of just like a fuzz, a haze around it, and they have to do some de-aging because the show's come out over the span of 9 years, and these kids have aged up a little bit. They're a little bit older, so you have to kind of age them down. And some of the themes of that shows, which I know you mentioned too. My biggest gripe to date with this show, and it's ran true through the majority of the seasons, and I notice it mostly in climactic episodes. I don't notice it in like the everyday random, like, oh, this is episode 2 of season 4. I don't notice it in shit like this. But every time when it's like either a season, like a break in the season, where we're getting this release schedule, and mostly I noticed this in episode 4 of season 5. I noticed it in the finale of season 4. When this show has all the characters that they love so much and the ones that mostly piss me off, they have them scattered. They're trying to facilitate and do what they do in every season of like, we need execute this plan. So your team is over here, your team is over here, your team is over here. Subplot A, B, and C. In the show, the structure of the show, they will build up each separate subplot. Subplot A will get to its climactic crescendo, and they will stop it. And then they'll go to subplot B, climactic crescendo, stop it. C, climax, and then they just, like we're a bunch of horny middle schoolers, will just be edging, waiting to get back to what happened in subplot A. Surely events carried out and things have transpired, and now we're further on into the story. What happened? No, we're just going to cut back to it and pick up from where we left off. And it's like, okay, so time isn't passing. You are just, as a choice, as a creator, structuring this out to kind of work on the audience and get our adrenaline rushing, our heart pace, or our heartbeat rushing and stuff like that, trying to build momentum, but it's fabricated because it's not anything that's, this is all configuring and happening all at the same time. It's, no, Max is going to talk to Holly, and then we're going to cut away. And while that conversation was reaching its climactic point, we're going to cut to this other climactic point, and then we'll cut back, and time has not passed with Max and Holly. It's just, yeah, and Henry's a fucking asshole. It's like, okay, well, like, why do we cut away from this? Why does this matter? Why are we cutting back to this? Why is this important now? So it just feels like the Duffer Brothers are kind of hacks to me. They capitalize on 80s nostalgia and Amblin entertainment and some little D&D monsters, and they get a bunch of kids thrown into an E.T.-like scenario, and they're like, you know what? We can't write for a lick. So we're just going to string together some sort of plot that puts these characters in peril, and we'll cut back and forth between each subplot to make it look like it's happening all at the same time so the audience is really into it, even though it's just fucking thrown together. So this huge complaint, this rant, is coming from someone that still likes the show. But I notice it, like I said, in a lot of the climactic episodes. I'm sure it probably happens in other shows, other movies that I watch, but I notice it the most in this, where it's just like, whoa, shit's getting hairy, cut away, shit's getting hairy, cut away, shit's getting hairy. It's like, I'm busting at the seams, my balls are blue, let me empty. Oh, it's just them continuing out the scene. Time hasn't passed. It's just trying to get me to a point. And I'm like, it feels like it's manipulative, and I don't like it, and it feels cheap.
I think there's great examples of that, kind of what you're saying, the parallel editing between things. In classic, like The Godfather's a good example of
my favorite movie.
Yeah, of that done really well.
Yeah.
Of when they're killing all the people at the end, and it's like going to each room, and then you go back to Michael with his kid at the thing. Or even, like, if you want to go, like, Silence of the Lambs, right? Of, like, going to the house, but it's the fake out. But it's executed better where time is passing, kind of your point of, like, in time with the movie, where it's not, like, you have a 10 or 15 minute gap, and then you go back, and you're like, I get that time doesn't need to pass, but for us, it's as the audience, you still need to be a bit more brief. Like, even if it was intercut more in between to build up to that. So I definitely get that complaint. It's just not executed as well as it could.
It always pisses me off in the show. But also, I already don't like a lot of the characters. I think you and I were listing them off. I like Nancy. I like Steve. I like Dustin. I like Robin. I don't like any of the buyers. Any of them.
Hopper's cool.
Yeah. This is the hardest thing for me. I fucking hate Eleven. And I am not interested in any of the experiments that she was a part of at all. It is never, I'm like, cool. What bad shit happened to you? Fucking move on. Somehow we've spent 5 seasons unpacking the bad shit that happened to you as a child. Get it? I got it. You have powers because of it. Move on. Let's go. Tell me a different story. I mentioned to you, I'm really happy for this show to be done, and to be done being a water cooler event episode of the week kind of release that we get in the streaming era. I'm just excited for it to live on a shelf, and I don't have to hear people say that this is one of the best Netflix, TV show, sci-fi, anythings. Because it's not. It's good, but it's never great. And it's never consistent enough for me to be like really excited to sit down and watch a new episode. It's usually my wife being like, yeah, we should watch our show. And I'm like, oh, yeah, we did start Stranger Things Season 5. Yeah, we should probably finish that so I can talk about it and tell people how unimpressed I am by the Duffer Brothers' work on this bullshit show. But I still somewhat like it. So that's my rant. I also, I will watch the rest of it because I need to finish it at this point. I've watched 4.5 seasons of the show, even though it's always kind of bothered me. I need to see it through.
Yeah.
I don't get the sense of urgency. Now Vecna's a big bitch. Wasn't Vecna a big bitch last season? But now Will's powers.
Will's got some powers, yeah.
Cool.
He has something to do at least.
Cool. Aside from being gay and closeted,
it's like scratching his fucking goosebumps and being like, "Ah, fuck! Now I can actually do shit."
I saw a fat kid. Now he's gonna get abducted. Now I need to protect him.
Dipshit Derek is in this thing now.
He's kind of fun.
Renmore. You know what? I was at first. I'm like, it kind of sucks, but I'm like, and he's like, "Suck my fat one." Robin's like, "Jesus."
Yeah. Robin is by far and away my favorite.
Yeah, she's funny. She's cool. The one small little thing before we move on. At the end of season 4, the last shot is like the upside down just fucking coming out of Hawkins. And then they open this one with like the government putting metal over it. They just put some metal plates.
Yeah, they put a fucking river of metal.
It's not like an apocalypse thing of like, oh fuck, that's cool. And then it's like, I get it because you need to start out somewhere, but I'm like, it feels a little cheap, I guess.
It felt more like the upside down was coming to us. Whereas now we're just spending a lot of time in the upside down.
Yeah, they're doing like the runs in the upside down, whatever.
So I don't know. I'm gonna watch it. What I am excited to do actually is to watch it with my wife over Christmas because we have a lot of memories. We're going up north to her family's house for Christmas, and I have memories of watching all through season 4 with my girlfriend at the time, and now she's my wife. So I'm excited to do that and kind of replicate that.
Holidays type of watch.
Holidays. So it'll be a good little watch. But I can't say that I'm the biggest appreciator or fan of this show because I never have been, but it's okay. It's okay. Can we acknowledge that it's only okay, please? Anyways, if you love it, good for you. Moving on into the new releases that we have coming out this week, we have some big ones.
Finally. A couple weeks off. It's been nice, but
we've
big
had
stuff.
Yeah, some quieter ones, which has been good. We've been able to catch up, but now we have some big shit we need to go see. So Avatar Fire and Ash, the third one from director James Cameron. Is he going to spend time directing anything else aside from Avatar? Probably not. He'll probably die making a fifth Blue People movie. This is starring Sam Worthington, everyone's favorite leading man, and Zoe Saldana from her off of her hit movie Amelia Perez. Also Sigourney Weaver playing Sigourney Weaver playing a 14-year-old blue person.
Sweet.
And Stephen Lang is somehow still here, as well as Kate Winslet. So I'm really excited to see this movie as someone who's kind of grilling it. I've never thought that these films are fantastic, but I'm excited to check it out. This has Jake and Neytiri grappling with the Fire Nation. It feels very Avatar: The Last Airbender, but now they're blue now. And they gotta find a different element to fight.
Fuck it, yeah.
So the trailers have worked for me. I've heard good things. I'm excited to see it. We're gonna see it Sunday night with a couple of our buddies.
Yeah,
so
got
I'm
the tickets.
Yeah, I'm excited to go. I'm probably gonna bring a couple of brewskis in. I'm gonna have to. It's like a Sunday night at 7, and it's a 3-hour, 15-minute movie. So going into a Monday might suck dick, but I want to drink some beers and watch a Blue People movie 100%. With my friends. So it's going to be pretty good. Are you excited for this one?
I'm pumped. I'm not excited. I didn't even think about it that the Patriots and Ravens are playing
until
Sunday night, which sucks. The Vikes play later, but I'm probably going to have to record the game and watch it.
Yeah.
But this is worth it, though. We'll get to see the first of 4 Avengers Doomsday trailers before.
Yeah.
We'll get into that maybe a little bit later. But, I'm excited for it. Like, I'm going to rewatch the first 2 this week just because I've only seen the second one time in theaters.
I'm going to sit down and watch the second one for sure. I don't know if I'll venture back to the first one. I like the first one, I think, I used to think I liked the second one more, at least after we immediately saw that in theaters. But over time, I like the first one more. I'm excited to sit down and watch the second one because I haven't only seen it the one time.
It's just big event stuff. I hope it makes all the money.
Yeah, and I'm sure it will. We're gonna have to, with the trailers that we potentially know about of the Avengers stuff before the movie, we're gonna have to really usher our group.
One buddy's coming from the airport, like coming from a flight.
Yeah, he said that. I'm like, you might have to meet us in our seats.
Yeah, like I'll send you the ticket information. We need to be there for Doomsday trailer.
Yeah, and we'll tell you about it during the fucking AMC, or no, we'll see it at Imagine, so thank God.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be an event viewing for the movie and the trailers alone, so I'm excited. We also have The Housemaid, which I don't want to snuff at because I'm really excited to see this movie. I like Paul Feig, and I think his kind of ventures into more thriller films like A Simple Favor, and even what he did with Spy is such an underrated comedy action film. But we have Housemaid coming from him, which I know is adapted from a really popular mystery thriller novel. We have Sydney Sweeney, which dogs are gonna be barking in that theater. Sydney Sweeney, Amanda Seyfried, Michelle Marone, and Brandon Stlenar, who I wish would just be the DCU Batman at this point. And we have a struggling woman is happy to start over as a housemaid for an affluent elite couple. There's a lot of intrigue in the trailers. Everything looks like it might hit the fan. Looks like there could be an affair. A lot of attractive people doing shady shit. I'm sold. I love this. I have always thought that my wife somewhat looks like Amanda Seyfried to me. So I kind of, because of that, have a little bit of a crush on Amanda Seyfried. I can't wait to see this movie. I'm going to be seeing this just based on how we got our tickets. I'm going to be seeing this movie before I see Avatar. I'm going to see it on Thursday, I think, opening night. And I'm really excited about it. So, Corey, where's your anticipation?
Sydney Sweeney's in it, dog. I'm there. Yeah. I saw Eden. Nobody saw that movie. Nobody was there for that shit. I just
spit so much.
Oh, nice.
Settle down.
No, dude. It actually does look good aside from just the hot people being in the movie. Yeah. It looks kind of fun. The one that I'm probably most excited for of like the releases this week is This Thing On, which is directed by Bradley Cooper. I think limited release this week, kind of expanding over the end of December into January. But Bradley Cooper as a director, I love A Star Is Born. That's one of my favorite movies of the past decade for sure. Maestro, I think, is so good. I think it's really underrated. Mm-hmm. And I love what he's doing. This movie, I've heard great things from Will Arnett, who is playing this kind of comedian, this divorced guy, middle-aged dude. He's seeking a new purpose, and he goes and does stand-up comedy, which can, from what I've heard, be very gratifying, but also just fucking tear you down.
Yeah. Nobody
laughs at a joke, and you're like, I'm going to fucking end it right here.
I know how that feels in just like a small room with people I know. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know if I need to be confirmed with that in front of a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly. So, I've heard Will Arnett is great. I've always enjoyed him in comedy roles, but I'm excited to see him in this more dramatic role. Laura Dern, I've heard, is great as well. Bradley Cooper shows up in the movie too. So this one looks really good, and it feels like kind of one of the last Oscar-y type awards movies coming out this year to check off the list.
That and what? No Other Choice. When does that come out? Do you know?
I think a couple weeks. I'm really excited for that one.
I can't fucking wait for that movie. It's Park Chan-wook, I think. And I can't fucking wait to see
I am really excited. So we have like a few left. Like those two and then Marty Supreme are kind of like the three other big ones kind of. And then Avatar, I guess. But pumped for that. A movie that's probably not going to be an awards talk is the SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants. We said we saw the trailer earlier. The trailers have been more so just annoying, which sucks because
when you're a fan of SpongeBob, kind of
love SpongeBob. Like we both grew up on SpongeBob. It formed our humor. I think on a base level.
One of the consistently most funny things ever put to screenwriting anything is "It's not my wallet." Like the whole thing between Patrick and Man Ray of like, this is your ID.
Uh-huh.
And this ID was in this wallet.
Yep.
I'll let you do, Patrick. You're doing good. And this ID was in this wallet.
Yep.
So therefore, this is your wallet.
Makes sense to me.
So take it.
It's not my wallet.
Funniest shit
unbelievable
ever. Me and my coworker will just pull up that scene and watch it and just die.
Early seasons, like first 4 or 5 seasons maybe.
Yeah, when the animation was still kind of shit.
Yeah, it's I love SpongeBob. The original movie is fucking great.
So funny.
It is hilarious.
Is this the 4th movie? Now at this point, like we had Sponge Out of Water, Sponge on the Run, and now it's this?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So this is the 4th. I think, they had the Netflix, some bullshits on there too. You watched the Plankton.
Fuck, that was a...
But like theatrically released ones, this is the 4th one, I guess.
I think I took an edible and watched half the Plankton movie.
Fuck yeah.
That was scary.
Yeah, Plankton's cool.
No, it was hard. It was not fun.
I can get into that. That'd be fun. But I don't know. The Flying Dutchman's in this one. Mark Hamill is voicing that character, and it's some SpongeBob shit. I don't know. The thing I've always loved about SpongeBob is that kind of dumb humor, but it's also like kind of clever in its own weird way. Like the early seasons. I think the first movie too is really funny, but this movie, the trailers have just felt like just little kid humor. Yeah, which I'm like, you can have that, but also like I hope there's more to it. I'm sad to say, like, I probably won't see this in theaters, because normally I'd be like, yeah, I'll see a SpongeBob movie, but this one I'm like, I don't know, you just haven't won me over with the trailers, really.
Yeah, thinking back to that first one, like the songs in that one, how that woman.
Oh yeah,
we can do anything.
It's so funny.
There are moments.
ScarJo voicing the
bald.
Mindy. Yeah.
When the fucking helmets clamp down on their heads, this is another thing that just like makes me just my gut bust. Just randomly when the helmet. Oh hell.
I love that they're trying to. They're trying to get the king's crown.
Yeah.
And then the dude has the spray on hair. They try it once, but he sprays it in the king's eyes. They never try again. They fucked up one time. They're like, all right, well, I guess we gotta get the crown back.
We just gotta get the crown.
Yeah, we failed.
We can't do this.
That's it. One try. That's it.
Yeah. No, I won't be checking it out in theaters, but I don't think I saw the last one. I saw Sponge Out of Water. I saw
Sponge Out of Water in theaters, I think, in 2015.
That was like the superhero-y one towards the end, at least.
Yeah, there's a dolphin or something in there.
Yeah, and then there's... What's the one with Keanu Reeves?
Sponge on the Run.
On the Run. I didn't watch
These
that
titles are all the same.
Yeah. So maybe I'll check that one out. Maybe, who knows? Maybe by next week we'll talk about both On the Run and...
I'll probably watch it eventually, just because I have so much love for it, but probably not in theaters.
Yeah, these are kind of streaming movies to this point, sadly. But moving into a physical media roundup, again, it's going to be a little bit slower. We aren't buying as much for ourselves because we have Christmas and we bought stuff for each other, so we'll likely probably open our gifts to each other on next week.
Next week, couple weeks.
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll see.
But this week I did buy a movie that I was like, this is a weird pull, because I want to watch like a big epic, either a Western or like an Akira Kurosawa. I was thinking about buying Ron. But I was like, you know what? I want to watch another Western. I watched High Noon and Shane this year, and they both fucking floored me. So I was like, I haven't seen The Searchers. So I ordered the 4K Blu-ray of The Searchers, and I'll probably watch that over Christmas. I'll be up north and watch it on a big fucking massive screen at my in-laws, so I'm really excited to check that out.
Yeah, I've seen a couple scenes from this movie, and I want to watch it all the way through. Yeah. I fucking love John Wayne Westerns.
Yeah.
I bought one movie this week. I went up to Duluth to see some friends. They have a great Walmart that actually has shit out still. I wanted to get Thunderbolts, and they didn't fucking have it, and I was really mad.
Which copy were you looking? Were you looking for like the Blu-ray,
the 4K? Like they're pretty good about having like older, like from earlier this year, older stuff, and like keeping it out. They didn't have it.
The slips.
It's like, fuck, damn it. So they didn't have that. I was in the mood to buy something, so I got Gladiator 2. It was like $20 for the 4K, which is like a fine price, I guess.
Enough price, yeah. It's like a normal Blu-ray price.
Yeah, exactly. This is not Russell Crowe's favorite movie. He spoke pretty recently. He's like, yeah, they missed every mark, which I don't even disagree with, really.
Yeah.
As like an action movie, I think it's fun. As a Gladiator movie, we didn't need this, but I enjoy some of the stuff in here. I mean, like, it gets goofy with the sharks and the fucking rhinos and monkeys and all kinds of weird shit, but like, taking it aside is just like a Gladiator type movie and not in the franchise. Like, it's fun enough. I like Paul Mescal in it. Pedro Pascal's really good.
Yeah. It's hard to say those names back to back for me.
Yeah, no, they're similar. But it was just like, I don't know, good observation, Mason.
Thanks. Yeah, names are similar, Mason. Good.
But it's like part of the Gladiator 2 and Wicked weekend. So like, I have fond memories of seeing those two together.
Oh, yeah, Wicked. I forgot about that.
We didn't really have that this year of like two heavy hitter.
What came out the same weekend as Wicked for Good? Anything?
Fuck, I don't even know. I'd have to look back at our video, but I enjoy the movie. I think it's fine. And like I said, I haven't been buying as much physical media, which is sad because it's not in stores as much. So, really, I'm someday I'll probably rewatch it, just watch both of them and get that back to back there. But coming out this week, we do have a really cool set. TMNT, the original live action movies. There's a sweet Arrow 4K like trilogy box set bullshit. That looks really cool. And then Boogie Nights, Leaving Las Vegas, Jarhead, and Walking Tall, the rock version of Walking Tall, all coming out on 4K as well. So, did you find what Wicked for Good?
It says Predator Badlands came out that weekend. I don't think it came out the same weekend. I think it was maybe out at the same time, so maybe they had overlap, but I don't think that... No. Rental Family and Wicked for Good. Train Dreams was on Netflix.
Okay, yeah.
I think you only got Rental Family and Wicked for Good, so maybe Rental for Good.
Rental for Good.
Family for Good.
Did we... even, I'm just trying to think other weekends. Like, we didn't have, like, a big, like...
Sisu for Good?
Oh, yeah.
Road 2 for Good?
Sisu for...
Sisu for Sisu. Sisu for Sisu. I still haven't seen that because they took that movie out of theaters in 5 seconds.
Dude, it's fun.
It had a week, and I'm like, damn, I missed on it. So I'm gonna have to check that out. But moving into movie news, some sad but also bizarre information that we got earlier today was the passing of director legend, Hollywood legend Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle. They were found dead in their Los Angeles home Sunday after police and firefighters responded to a medical aid call. Authorities were investigating it earlier. I think things have come out about maybe who perpetrated the crime. I don't really want to talk too much about the nature of that. I want to just more look at, okay, we lost a legend today, a person that put out This Is Spinal Tap 2, like or whatever the sequel was called, but was able to put that movie out this year and stuff like that. So sadly, Rob Reiner did pass away. When I saw that news, I was immediately like, well, he was getting up there in age, so hopefully it was that. And then sadly, you look into the story and it looks like it was a homicide, and the bad things that come with that and the kind of weird feelings you get with that. But to look back at Rob Reiner is to look back at $15,000 for one fucking dinner. Like, Rob Reiner is sensational. Not only in his acting performances. Sorry for everyone that was listening that didn't get to see my face and really gear up for me yelling. But Rob Reiner, as an actor, sensational. As a director, the run he had in the late 80s into the 90s is sensational. Misery, Few Good Men, Princess Bride. Like, he fucking kills it as a director. He made one of the best coming-of-age movies with Stand By Me. Maybe the best rom-com ever with When Harry Met Sally. A great Stephen King adaptation. Maybe one of the best courtroom dramas. And being able to act alongside Leonardo DiCaprio and go toe-to-toe with him in Wolf of Wall Street. Like, he is a sensational presence in the film industry. And it's a sad passing today. And it probably came earlier than we all really wish it would have. Obviously made this a Spinal Tap. If I had to say my favorite thing I ever got because of Rob Reiner's existence, it would probably be A Few Good Men, because I held out on seeing that movie for so long because I'd seen that you can't handle the truth. Like, I've seen that scene so many times that I was like, okay, I think I know what happens in this movie. And then I watched that movie and I was like, holy fuck, is this such a well-directed courtroom drama? Like, it holds up, it stands the test of time. It's one of my favorite movies ever. A lot of his movies are, like, if someone came up to me and they're like, my favorite movie is Stand By Me, I'm like, yeah, 100% makes sense. My favorite movie is When Harry Met Sally. Makes sense. Like, he made just some of the best classics in every genre he touched. So, it's a sad day. It's a weird day. Corey, kind of, how did you encounter this news? What did you feel? What did you think about? What's your kind of go-to thing, project, I think, from Rob Reiner that you'd think of?
Man, starting with his acting career, like, I know he was in All in the Family, and was nominated for some Emmys there. But then just like popping up like in New Girl as Jess's dad, little things there. He's in The Bear for a couple episodes, like just, and then the Wolf of Wall Street, which he did. Like, should have won fucking Best Supporting Actor for that movie.
He's so funny.
He is hilarious in that movie, but he just pops up in so many things. And then you mentioned his run. Like, I just wanted to briefly kind of just mention the run from 1984 to 1992. So what is that? 8 years. He put out This Is Spinal Tap, Stand By Me, The Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, Misery, and A Few Good Men.
Almost all back to back.
That's insane. Like, in 8 years of putting out movies in different genres, like you mentioned, of like a rom-com, a Stephen King horror adaptation, a fantasy thing, a coming of age, a mockumentary way before its time. Yeah. We talked about that. I was, really happy to see Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues, in theaters earlier this year. Like, I feel like we mentioned, like, seeing a director's movie in theaters and kind of checking that off the list. I'd never seen a Rob Reiner movie in theaters, and he hadn't been doing a lot of big things recently, but weird to just think back and be like, oh, this movie's good. Like, I hope he comes back and does other stuff. And it's just like, it's sad, and it's a really sad story overall. But man, just that run he had is maybe one of the best of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's
like the Carrie run in like the early 90s where he had like Mask, Dumb and Dumber, and Ace Ventura.
Yeah, people just are on a roll sometimes, and he just had such a good feel of any genre he was in, which a lot of times people are just stuck in like a horror thing or a rom-com, but he was just like, I'll do anything. And so this is just a weird one for sure, just with the story as well, but appreciating everything that he did, man, like just from an acting and directing standpoint. And I know he's just very beloved in the film community too.
It's been nice to see that over the past 24 hours. Of
Yeah.
People coming out. Like Kevin Bacon came out and he was like, I was just a young kid and he gave me a role in A Few Good Men. Or
like Zooey Deschanel just being like, everyone loved working with him on New Girl. So a tough loss for sure. But I mean, we always say it like remembering through their work, and there's still some of his movies I haven't seen that I definitely want to check out and just see more of his work, because he's insanely talented and left his mark on Hollywood for sure.
Yeah, he will be sadly very missed. And yeah, we get to live on through watching his excellent work, which the guy never missed. So
yeah,
sadly, we lost Rob Reiner today. Moving into more of the prototypical movie news that we talk about, we had a bit of a couple of big trailers come out this past week. So we had the Supergirl trailer, which was kind of they did a teaser for the teaser and a teaser trailer for the trailer and all that shit. Then we finally got the trailer, so we can talk about that. We also got a trailer for the drama with Robert Pattinson and Zendaya, and then we got a first look kind of glimpse, almost like a sizzle reel of the new upcoming Street Fighter movie. I want to jump into Supergirl because that's the one I'm obviously more excited about. And I love Superman. I love James Gunn's Superman. I love his take, but this trailer didn't wow me too much. I was kind of let down a little bit. Yeah, it's fine. The music is awesome. I love Call Me by Blondie. Do I think that trailer necessarily fits what this trailer, or does that song fit this trailer? I don't know. It feels too much of Guardians of the Galaxy. It feels like typical James Gunn stuff, even though this isn't a James Gunn directed film. I'm excited. I like the glimpse that we saw of Lobo. I think Millie Alcock's going to be great in this film. I can't wait to see it. It was kind of like I know you're coming out. Cool. Like, it didn't give me anything to... All right, now I'm excited. I'm excited for Supergirl because I want to see where this franchise goes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to see Craig Gillespie, somebody that's not James Gunn, do a project here. And, I mean, I love I, Tonya. I think that movie's incredibly good. So, like, I'm excited for it still. Like, I think Millie Alcock's really good. I love her in House of the Dragon. She's great there. But, yeah, it does feel like Guardians. It feels more James Gunn than Superman. We were kind of talking about that. And so it's just interesting to be like, all right, it's a different voice coming in, but it feels very similar to stuff we've seen before. And, like, we don't really get a good sense of the plot here. It is really just a teaser. But you can kind of be like, all right, it'll be, a quippy Supergirl. She's kind of drunk sometimes, and then Crypto's around peeing on stuff. I'm like, okay, I don't know. That's whatever. But yeah, there's like a big a press event for this teaser. There was all kinds of stuff that was like building up to this. I think
in like New York or Town Square or something in New York, they had like something's coming tonight or something to lead into the trailer debuting. And I don't know if the trailer gave me enough to warrant all that fucking build-up. So the one thing I will say I'm excited about and I do like is that we haven't seen a character, either Superman or of that echelon, that power, venture off into space, into the world, not just on Earth. So I'm excited to see a member of the super family, Supergirl, be out in space on alien planets, handling different issues. I'm kind of excited about that. Did I necessarily get a lot of that in this trailer? Again, it kind of just does feel like a little bit like Guardians of the Galaxy with a catchy, awesome pop song going on, or pop rock song going on. So it's fine, whatever. I'm going to see it, but the trailer didn't change much. I didn't watch the trailer for the drama. Did you check it out?
I did not, but the movie itself, just the Zendaya and Robert Pattinson, I'm
like that
curious about them. Yeah. Street Fighter, I've never played the games, but I saw the little first look thing and looks...
Everyone looks like their game character, kind of.
Looks like this could be okay. This could be fun. So, I don't know.
I like how, like, cocksure it is with the ridiculous character designs.
Lean into it.
They're like, fuck it, we're doing it. Like,
don't make it serious and grounded. Like, Street Fighter, fuck it.
Let's acknowledge this horrible, wonky-ass haircut on this military guy. Like, fuck it. Like, why not? So, I like that. I don't know much about Street Fighter. I was more of a Mortal Kombat person, and even that I wasn't, like, really into. So, I'm excited to see it. I love David Dastmalchian as, what is fucking... I was going to say Buffalo Bill. It's not that.
I don't know any of the character names in Street Fighter.
Big militant red bitch with a weird hat. That guy. Can't wait to see David Dastmalchian as that guy. If you're a fan of Street Fighter, cuss me out. I don't care. That guy's going to be great.
Hell yeah. So moving into award stuff, we had a lot of nomination winner things last week. This week, we had the Golden Globe nominations coming on Monday.
Ooh.
Golden Globes are fun.
They're fun, but it's...
I don't know. I like award stuff. I like tracking it. I was going to wake up and watch the nominations announcement, but then I was hungover, and I got back from Duluth at 5 a.m., so...
what time were the awards announced?
Tired.
Like 5:45?
It was like 7 or 8 or something, so I was like, I'm not going to do this. But anyways, I'll see when I wake up. And, again, I won't go through all the nominations. That would take forever, but just kind of the bigger ones. Best Picture Drama, we had Frankenstein, Hamnet, It Was Just an Accident, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and The Secret Agent. Missing from there, I think, would be Train Dreams. I was bummed to not see that in...
Yeah, that's like aside from Frankenstein, the big Netflix push, I feel like, should go to Train Dreams.
Frankenstein is getting a lot of...
I know.
I knew it was going to be in, the crafts categories, but the amount of buzz of people being like, no, it's going to be Best Picture nominated out at the Oscars, I'm like...
It's kind of like Nightmare Alley, where it's like, I like the movie, but I don't see it as, Best of the Year. There are things in it that I love, but, Best of the Year, I don't see that. So, it's kind of surprising with Frankenstein. It's kind of having that same trajectory.
Yeah. In Best Picture Musical or Comedy, we had Blue Moon, Begonia, Marty Supreme, No Other Choice, Nouvelle Vague, and One Battle After Another.
A few small beers.
A few small beers. Pretty good crop of movies there. I'm excited to watch Blue Moon eventually.
Yeah.
Marty Supreme, obviously, I'm stoked to see. No Other Choice we mentioned. So, Nouvelle Vague, happy to see that getting in. It's not really... I mean, the fucking musical or comedy. The genre shit when they do it at award shows... Just
do 10. Just do 10 nominees. Yeah. Blanket Best Picture.
Yeah.
Just do what the Oscars do now.
It doesn't really make sense. The big one missing from the musical or comedy category is Wicked for Good.
The musical that came out
big
this year.
Fucking musical. That's, even if it's not as good as the first movie, that's the best musical of the year for sure. But yeah, then there's some other stuff. We mentioned Tessa Thompson getting nominated for Best Actress in a Drama. I was stoked to see Eva Victor get Sorry Baby, Best Actress in a Drama.
Great.
That's awesome. Best Director, we have Chloe Zhao, Del Toro, Jafar Panahi, Joachim Trier, PTA, and Ryan Coogler. Kind of the usual suspects this award season, I feel like. Seeing all them pop up. The best international or non-English language. Mm-hmm. It's a good category this year. It was Just an Accident, No Other Choice, Sentimental Value, Sarat, The Secret Agent, and The Voice of Hind Rajab. There's a lot of good ones. I think there's going to be a lot of Best Picture nominees from international movies this year.
I think it's really cool to see Amy Madigan get some awards recognition for Weapons. It's all right, maybe she will potentially be in conversation.
I think she is. I know maybe we talked about it last week, but I didn't expect it.
Louder.
She's going to get nominated for sure. Happy to see Adam Sandler for Jay Kelly get in there.
I'm surprised to see Dwayne Johnson that he stuck around for the Smashing Machine. I feel like he shot up so fast, so soon, and so early that I was he's kind of lost it in the conversation. So I'm excited to see that he's still around. Jeremy Allen White, I'm hoping he doesn't get an Oscar nom because then that means I have to go watch that movie. But I heard he was fantastic.
He's good in it, but he won't get nominated for an Oscar.
The one that interests me probably the most of any nominees, just because it's a movie I haven't seen, but it's Amanda Seyfried for musical or comedy, which I don't think, based on the trailer, that this satisfies musical or comedy.
It is a musical.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's a music. Okay, then I'm sorry, I'm wrong. But the Testament of Ann Lee, the trailers, I'm I need to see this movie now. I have no idea what the fuck that movie is, and I can't wait to see it. So I'm, if anything, seeing this nomination for Amanda Seyfried, I'm more just fuck it, just give me the movie. I didn't know it was a musical. I'm excited for it.
There's some other good stuff. They have their dumbass cinematic and box office achievement award.
Oh, I didn't look at
which
that.
It's
Avatar Fire and Ash, which hasn't came out yet.
Yeah, which I guess it'll make a lot. But F1, cool. K-pop Demon Hunters, which did good in theaters when it was there, I guess. But what is
Netflix
the
movie
qualification for this? Mission Impossible, Sinners, Weapons.
Mission Impossible didn't do great.
Yeah, it was good. It was fine. And then Wicked for Good, Zootopia 2. I don't get this category. It's
They're
dumb.
how can we get mainstream people to watch our award show?
Yeah, we just want the famous people at this award show. It's whatever. Just to quickly mention, I was happy to see Pluribus in Best TV Drama. I fucking love that show. It's really cool so far. Severance is in there.
Adolescence is still in the conversation.
Adolescence, yeah. This is kind of the last of the awards season that it has. So of the nominees here, like it'll definitely win. And then musical or comedy, I like seeing The Bear in there. I haven't seen some of the other ones. Hacks, or no, The Studio I really like. I've seen that. Hacks has kind of been running the table with that. So yeah, fun. I like watching the Globes. I think they're January 11th, if I remember right, which is a Sunday. So it's a fun little award show to watch. Everyone's kind of drunk and giving speeches. The Studio, I feel like, has to win because they have a whole Golden Globes episode where they're shouting out this guy from their team. So I feel like somebody has to say that. If you've seen The Studio, you understand, and it's a recurring bit. So hopefully it will be fun to see that.
Maybe I'll try and sit down and watch The Studio at some point this year because I'm still relatively interested in that show. Yeah. Moving off of the Golden Globes, moving into kind of all the other odds and ends that we had from this week, Sony is moving forward with the third 28 Years Later film, which will continue from Bone Temple from Nia DaCosta, which we're expecting early 2026, which I feel like people have already started to see this movie and say that, or rave about it, so I'm excited to go see that. But the third film was kind of up in the air. It has been greenlit. They will be working on that. Cillian Murphy will be returning. Alex Garland will be writing the script, and I'm excited because I like 28 Years Later enough. It wasn't like a full home run for me, but I was really, I think, mostly satisfied by that movie and the weird shifts it takes. So I'm excited for a third film. Corey, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I'm excited. It's always interesting because, like, saying the third 28 Years Later movie, but it's the fifth 28 days.
Yeah.
What do we call this franchise? Like, just somebody say like 28 days late, 28 later. So
28.
What the fuck do we call this?
Something
man?
later franchise.
Yeah, but cool. Cillian Murphy's coming back.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. I thought he was going to be in Bone Temple at least a little. I think there was like a Danny Boyle interview where he was like a complete breakdown. He's like, not in the first one. He's a little bit in the second one, all third. And I'm like, okay, why are you just like outright telling us? Okay, whatever. Fine. Excited for that nonetheless. Amblin Entertainment has unveiled a mysterious poster teasing the new Steven Spielberg sci-fi film. It's a UFO film. It had a tagline featuring "All will be disclosed." It was shown across a bunch of major U.S. cities. With it, I think it was also in Town Square, which we mentioned earlier too. But this is kind of fueled excitement ahead of this planned reveal on June 12th for this secretive project. It could be. There's a lot of rumors for what this title could be. I've seen disclosed, all will be disclosed. They're just like, the tagline is the title and also disclosure. But Steven Spielberg doing a sci-fi film, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, is maybe one of my favorite, if not my favorite of his films. So I'm excited to see him voyage back into the sci-fi realm.
Mm-hmm. No, it's good marketing for sure.
It's a cool poster.
Yeah, really cool poster. Just the mystery behind it. It's sort of Cloverfield-esque in a way. So yeah, any new Spielberg, we talked about John Williams scoring the movie, get the boys back together here. Fuck yeah.
Just run it back.
Hell yeah.
We also got confirmation of Jennifer Lawrence and Josh Hutcherson returning for Hunger Games Sunrise on the Reaping. So I'm guessing just based on them coming back to this movie that is a prequel to them by like 40 years, 50 years, or whatever it is, that we'll get like some sort of framing device where they're at the beginning talking to Haymitch and then at the end talking to Haymitch about his story of the Sunrise on the Reaping. Sure, cool, can't wait, love that, fine, I like this franchise enough. We also, which we talked about, highlighted a little bit earlier, there are announced trailers for Avengers Doomsday that we had to look forward to, potentially 4 of them. But not only that, they are re-releasing Avengers Endgame in theaters on September 25th of 2026 to kind of lead into the kind of countdown, the momentum building run for Avengers Doomsday later on in December of that year, December of next year. And with that, there's potential rumors going around that there may be a new end sequence or post-credit sequence or scene attached to the ending of Avengers Endgame to better lead into Doomsday, which, if that's the case, fucking sold. But also, if I get to see the portal scene on the big screen again, I'm there. So I'm excited that they're doing a re-release. Corey, I know you're probably going to be seeing it with me, so
probably.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's also going to be hard just trying to collect the fucking Infinity Gauntlet of these 4 supposed trailers that go into Doomsday. So I'm excited to do it. I'm getting back. I'm hyped again for Marvel movies. Mm-hmm. It's getting really fun, and Doomsday is really doing its work on me.
It's been a while since we've had like a trailer. I feel like Supergirl sort of had the build up, and like we're getting Doomsday. Like people are like, fuck, it's leaked now, and like some people are seeing it, but good marketing of like every week of Avatar Fire and Ash, it's going to be a different trailer playing before. So I mean, it could be the sort of Phantom Menace thing back in the day where people just go and watch the trailer and then leave.
Buy a ticket.
But again, that movie or that money goes towards Avatar: Fire and Ash, so Disney's fucking making money on that. So it doesn't really matter how long you stay for it. I don't know. Like, I'll probably just see Avatar once, maybe twice.
I think I might have 2 in me. We'll see. Depends on how much I like it.
Yeah, but as far as like the post-credit scene, like Endgame doesn't have a post-credit scene.
Yeah, tack one on.
It never had one, so that could be interesting. It's the leaks from the trailer say that Doomsday picks up right after Endgame, where it leaves off.
Goes to the. What are the
have you seen this or no?
I think I have.
Spoilers if you don't want to know any of this, but
which is all potential rumor.
Yeah, this could just all be fucking bullshit that I'm saying.
Spoilers.
But I've seen reports that Steve Rogers is one of the main characters of Doomsday.
Yeah, I've heard
And then
that
it starts
too.
off with him returning the stones, like when he's going back in the time, or whatever the fuck he does, returns the stones to their timelines. So that it kind of picks up right when that left off. You maybe see Peggy in the trailer, like when they're dancing or something. Again, all this could just be bullshit and people are just speculating.
And I've also heard rumors that the 4 trailers, it's going to focus on the main 3 of one trailer focused around Thor, one around Steve Rogers, one around Iron Man, or I think Doom then.
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. as Doom. And then the 4th trailer is a more collective, what is the story of Avengers trailer. Granted, all that is rumors, but the speculation of that kind of coming back, it's like, fuck, we're in it again. Like, all right, now I'm getting excited. And also, like, I was happy to leave Steve Rogers in the past, but now that they've mentioned it, I'm like, come on, bring my boy back. Bring him back to me.
If they do it right, it could be okay.
I think it could work really well. So I'm really excited for that. And fuck, if I have to go to Avengers 4 to see 4 different trailers, I might have to. I might just do it.
Yeah.
But regardless, thanks for joining us for another episode of Slate Night, the Film Fan Podcast. It was a late one and a long one, but we talked about a lot of shit and a lot of shit to cover, and I'm sure we'll have a lot of shit to cover for next week as well. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok for more in-depth movie reviews and movie news. If I don't like a movie, but you're a fan of that IP... Don't say I didn't get it, because if you do, you're gatekeeping a fandom that has...
It's for the fans.
It's for the fans. Now, you can make a movie that satisfies fans, and it's also, on its own, a good movie. Anyway, that's a whole different rant that it's too late to get into. Don't forget to subscribe. In the world of film, it's not just about what's on screen. It's also about who's next to you in the theater.
For Mason and I at Slate Night, that's a wrap.